Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lamborghini C, and we're going to talk about this CTA, the Corporate Transparency Act, and how you can file for it and make sure that you stay in compliance. So, if you're an LLC, if you own a business, then you've been hearing about this CTA. There's been a lot of talk about it like this year. There's been some lawsuits that have been filed to kind of get out of having to, give up that information. It's been a touchy subject for some, and I understand why it's been touchy for me because I was like, I don't know if I agree with this. But first of all, let's kind of talk about what the CTA is, which is also the Corporate Transparency Act. So, the Corporate Transparency Act is a federal law that requires certain businesses to disclose information about their beneficial owners. It actually was enacted in 2021. However, I remember late last year, around this time last year, there was an announcement and a buzz brewing that there would be a new requirement or mandate, actually, that LLCs and business owners would need to disclose their beneficial owners, right? So basically, that means that, you would disclose personal identifiable information about the individuals that form that LLC, the owners of it. Which, again, so for me, the contention of it around it is that the LLC is a limited liability, right, company. And so it is, in place to be able to separate you from your business, right? So that's why, like, when you're signing your documents or any contracts, you should be signing them on behalf as a representative of your business, right? So I am the CEO of Edmond Enterprises. So when I sign my contracts, it's Clonetta Frazier. I'm the CEO, right, of Edmond Enterprises. Just as when I was in corporate and I would sign contracts on behalf of whatever organization I may have been working for at that time, right, in my role as a representative of that company. So if there's a claim filed against that company, a lawsuit or something, it's against that company and not me, right? And so, again, there was just some contention, right? Because it's like now you're kind of trying to blur the lines, or it's like the government wants, some additional intel. And it's like, what are they doing with this information? And then I also, to be quite honest, if we want to talk frank about it, like this was enacted to basically try to watch and control and cut down on money laundering. And I'm like, shoot, some of them people in Washington that passed this bill are the main ones that are doing the money laundering and the, little trickery and insider trade and things like that. They need to police themselves, right? Instead of coming after us, especially the small guys, the small business owners. But, we're here a year later. Oh my goodness. Right. So right now, again, there's deadlines that are coming up, right? So you're starting to hear a lot more buzz about it. And just talk about this Corporate Transparency Act, because for organizations that were established before January 1st of 2021, they need to fill out the initial beneficial ownership information report, or BOI report. So that's how you file the paperwork and stay compliant. And that is due before January 1st of 2025, right? And so they did actually provide an extension, for individuals in those areas where there were hurricanes. And so they're giving those folks a deadline of July 1st of 2025. But if your organization was established after like July 1st, 2024 or after, then you actually have 90 days from the time that you actually, form your entity to fill out the BOI report and submit it, right? And so it's actually going to, that time period is actually going to move up after January 1st, 2025. So any new entities that you form, you'll have to fill out the BOI paperwork and submit that within 30 days of formation. Now, here's the reality. It really doesn't take a whole lot of effort to fill out the paperwork, but it's just the fact that it goes against the principle of, the whole limited liability and, and again, having that separation for me. So I didn't feel good about it, but I went ahead and complied. I did. But I came here because some people, of course, have found a way to monetize, this matter. I've been getting like emails upon emails with people sending me things, even with discounts and discount links and discount codes to file the BOI paperwork for me. I've seen anywhere from $99 to $199, and they'll file the paperwork for me. Guys, it only takes 5 or 10 minutes to actually submit this paperwork on yourself. And I'm going to show you how you can do it today and save yourself some money. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's get into this. So the way that we're going to fill out this BOI form is first we're going to type in fincen.gov/BOI. Let's see if that gets, I think that will get us there. Okay. So now that we're on the site, we know we want to file. So we're going to go down. They have instructions if you want to, click on those to let you know how, you actually file for it and what have you. But we're going to go ahead and just go into the file section so that we can make it happen. So we're going to select file a report using the BOI e-filing system. Okay. And as you can see here, they have the beneficial ownership information reporting. We need to file a BOR, click here. So we're going to choose get started. And so now they have two options. So you can either file a PDF BOIR and then submit it. We're going to do the web version. We're going to file online and submit it online. Okay. We're going to select agree. Let's just read through this. You're entering the U.S. government information system maintained, administered, and operated by the U.S. Department of Treasury. The information system may only be used for authorized purposes. The U.S. government may monitor, record, and audit all activity on this information system. By accessing and using this system, users are consenting to U.S. government monitoring, recording, and auditing of their activities on this information system. Okay, so we're going to check agree. So you want to make sure that you're entering accurate information. Like I said, do not try to be slick with this, guys. Don't think that you're going to get away with entering false information because you don't want to give up your real information. So we're going to select an initial report, right, because that's what we're filing. The date that is prepared is going to automatically populate. Okay, they have a Privacy Act here. You can read through that, and then you just click next. Then we go in here for the reporting company. You can request to receive a FinCEN ID if you like. You don't have to do that. That's purely up to you. But again, that's purely up to you. It's good to have if you actually, you may need to come back and correct some information. So again, it's up to you. So now we're going to jump down here to the legal name and alternative name. So you want to type in your company name right here. If you're doing business as if you have a DBA or trade name, you want to make sure you list that as well. You can also add an alternate name. You're going to need to have your your tax identification type, which in most cases is going to be your EIN. Okay, and so you're going to want to have that paperwork. Select EIN here, and then go ahead and type in your EIN number. All right, type in your country or jurisdiction, and then you're going to go down here, and then it's going to ask for the current U.S. address. Now it's asking for the U.S. address of the company, the entity. So you will put that in there, and then you will select next. All right, so now we're going to go to the company applicants, right? And so right now we're going to leave this blank. Let me see. It says existing reporting company. Check if existing reporting company as of January 1st, 2024. It's not. Like, we actually had it before then. And so now we're going to skip past all of this because we don't have our FinCEN ID. Now we're going to put our information, the owner information in here, right? And again, you just want to check, and double check. It's asking for your date of birth. And then it's going to ask for the address type. You can choose business address or residential. It's up to you. Then you're going to select the forms that you're going to use to identify yourself. You can use your passport. You can use your state issued driver's license. You'll type in the corresponding numbers for whichever you choose. And then it's going to ask you to upload a copy of that information. Then you'll select next again. We can leave this blank. You would check this if you were filling this out for your child. If your child actually had a business, you do need to, report that and, stay compliant with that as well. But in this case, I'm over 18, so I can fill it out for myself. We're leaving that blank. All right. My entity is not exempt, so I'm leaving that blank. So now we go down here to the individual, the beneficial owner's information. So I put my information in here again, my date of birth. I also put in my residential address here, right? And identifying documents to, help them validate that. Again, it's going to ask you to upload those forms, and then you're just going to go over to next and where you can submit. Um, you'll need to enter your email address, just confirm you have that typed in correctly, because you will get, once you hit submit, an email just confirming that you submitted it. And again, like I mentioned, just always a good rule of thumb, just go over here and print yourself a nice little PDF version that you can save or either print out as a hard copy to have on file to show that you actually did go through these steps and you filed your BOI form before the deadline, which is before January 1st, 2025. All right, so now we just went over how to actually submit your paperwork and your form to make sure that you're compliant. So make sure, like again, if you're going to comply, then go ahead and do it, get it done before the end of the year, just so that you're in compliance and you don't end up with any issues. Again, you want to make sure that you do this because if you don't complete it, then there are some consequences to it, right? So if you miss the deadline and don't file, you actually will be hit with a $500 like fee. And I think it actually will go up from there. I'm just looking right now. So this is what they're doing. Failure to comply with the CTA can result in a significant penalties, including civil penalties up to $500 per day, actually, adjusted for inflation, and criminal penalties up to $10,000 in fines, up to 2 years in prison, or both. Disclosure and use violations can receive penalties up to $250,000 in fines or up to 5 years in prison. So don't, think you're going to slick the system and put in some bogus information, about yourself or your address or what have you, because you don't want to be hit with that $250,000 fine or 5 years in prison or both. And so, I just wanted to get this out to you guys because, like I said, I know some people are taking advantage of the situation and, monetizing it and charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars saying that, oh, we'll file this paperwork for you. But go ahead, do it yourself so that you have record of it, saved yourself. Always, always, always like print a PDF and save it. Even you might want to print it out to have a hard copy just to show the date and time you submitted this paperwork. If you're audited or if something happens to come up, you have proof that, hey, I went ahead and took care of business. But there's no need for you to go pay someone else to do this. You can do it yourself. All right, have a great day. Bye.